But I hated the kids in this movie. They should all be shot. But
We're back.
I drink a lot, though. Oh, I'm looking for the alien.
Are we back?
Yes, we're back.
Oh, we're back.
Here we go, Sue.
Sorry about that. We're back. Okay, so now we're on our fourth movie, and that will be George.
Yes, my movie, the Shakespearean. No, my movie is called Time, and let me get some time to watch the trailer.
So
Great
clever.
segue, yes.
龍飛鳳舞，邊邊開土，三邊之內，棺材該開。
我要死啊！
再做我懟冧你！
你放生佢啊？
會堂啊，
夠姜你講多事，
我想你做我老婆。
我做你生意好啲喎。
人生匆匆，都只係等敲嗰下喪鐘。就算你兒女成群，都總有一個係瘟神。你講我真係欠咗你㗎！
好大仇啊！咁都唔放過人哋。
你哋啲殺手咁老㗎？
我認錯人。
So this movie,
Interesting, yes.
I was actually at that time I had a bad flu. So
George
I'm like,
got sick, too.
yeah, I got sick. So I'm sitting in bed and was like, I want to watch something. What's on Netflix? So I'm scrolling through movies, and then I saw Time. It's like I saw the plot. I go, wow, that's a very interesting concept. Right up my alley. Let's watch it. So I watched it, and the movie basically is description is once famous for his quick blade, a retired assassin and his old partners find renewed purpose by helping fellow seniors end their lives. When commissioned by a young girl who has been deserted by her parents and lover, the elderly angel squad finds an arresting way to complete his task. So this movie is actually two well-loved faces from 1960s Hong Kong cinema. Patrick Suet-Ying and Petrina Fung Bobo, or Bao Bao, I guess it depends on. They call her the Shirley Temple of Hong Kong.
How do you say his name again?
Patrick Say.
Say?
Patrick.
Say.
Say. I'm going to do it phonetically.
The movie, I think, it has a name too, which I think I don't know if it's Mandarin or Cantonese. Sha Chu Ge Huang Gun. That's the original name for it.
Very good.
So, anyway, so I actually really enjoyed this movie. I like you have the movie starts with this almost like a 70s, almost like
Very much so.
very
I
much
know what
70s,
you mean. Yeah.
but like what was
Like
that?
karate movie.
Karate movie, but with those kind of effects, like the Shaolin soccer or that kind of really where they do a kick and you see this cartoonish thing. So at first I thought it's gonna be one of those kind of movies, but it just shows them, you know, that the main two characters, Patrick Se and who plays Chow, and Bao Bao Feng, who's Miss Feng, and then the driver who's Lam Suet, who plays Chung, and you see him sitting in the car reading a book on how to be Zen, I think, or martial art, how to learn martial arts. It's really
Exactly,
funny.
yeah.
Well, they're kicking everybody's ass,
Yeah.
and he, of course, brings out his famous blade, like the Velociraptor, and takes care of business. And then right away it cuts to now, and he's working at in a noodle place, and he's just
Chopping up noodles.
but he's really like slow chopping noodles, and everybody's just sitting there waiting. So obviously, of course, I think it's his nephew. He gets fired because
His son fires him.
his son. No, I thought it was nephew, but okay.
No, I think it's his son.
So, where's it? Because I say uncle, but okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
So he gets fired, and they get you next time you see him, they give him some money. He goes, sorry, you know, you're taking too long, and the customers are waiting. And as he walks away, you see them bringing this machine that's gonna
Exactly.
do like 5 balls a second or something. So, and then it starts going into each character. You see so he's sitting down on the chair, and then you see the driver who's in the van too, and then the female character assassin. She's now a singer in a cabaret, I think, kind of bar with
But
she
I think
owns.
it's
Well,
her
like perfect,
bar.
like karaoke almost.
bar.
Yeah.
And she owns it.
Yeah.
I thought the scene where you see her that she's singing, and then first they hear this message on the radio that says, let's get the old guys together, have a job or something, some kind of thing. They're like, okay, they know exactly who it is, so they go to the cabaret to meet her, and she's singing. I thought it was funny that you see the guitar player like I don't care with the cigarette and the drummer. It's like, and these people are dying. It's just like not into it. I thought it was okay. I'm thinking, okay, it's a comedy. And then of course she says she has a job for them. We gotta get back. We're back in business, and the job is to, when he goes to do the job, it's actually because they're assassins. So when they go to kill somebody, they find out the person that wanted to get killed is actually this woman she's on her deathbed. The way she cannot pay the bills, and then this guy comes out, and then Chow, the main assassin, brings his blade, and he's like, no, wait, no, I just want to watch and say goodbye before you kill her. He's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? He's like, and finally, he's like, "No, I'm not doing this. This is not this is assisted suicide. This is not what we do. We kill." But then she explains to him, Mrs. Feng, no, this is the job we got commissioned to do. Apparently, there's a lot of people who want to get assisted suicide.
I think they call them avenging angels or something.
So there's a lot of business. He doesn't want to do it.
Elderly.
It's some kind of angel.
But what I like about it is the fact that they're explaining to him, no, if she stays here, it's going to cost us so much money. We can't afford this. So the woman who wants to die is saying, no, if you kill me, we're better off.
Yeah, so he goes, exactly. So then he goes, he doesn't want to do it. He forget it. He leaves. And then he watches on the news that she was killed, but she was killed by her husband.
Right.
Because he couldn't afford the
And
bills.
then he has to go to jail.
Yeah, and exactly. So he goes, wow, okay, I see what's going on here.
Yeah.
So they eventually get back and decide to start this business of helping people who want to die, want to commit suicide or assisted suicide to kill themselves. So they start this successful business, and they're going out killing every person that wants to get killed, that wants to die.
Sad.
And they are called the elderly angels or something like that. Something like that.
Angels for the elderly,
Yes.
something like that. Yeah.
So, and then of course he gets one commission again, and when he goes out to kill this person, finds out that it's a very young girl. So, and she wants to be killed. It's like, you got to kill me. It's like, what's
She's
going
16.
on here? And she's really young. So, and then the movie goes that she, she's pretty kind of wily too. She still sees water. She takes her phone.
It's like a 16-year-old.
So he doesn't want to do
Exactly.
it. Yeah, like a 16-year-old. And she's really kind of a little bit annoying, actually.
Yes.
And then the movie starts with their relationship where he leaves and she follows him. And there's a really funny scene where he goes back to the house and somebody died. So he doesn't want to go in, and then she pops up.
Yeah.
Oh, my grandpa, he's seen now.
Yeah.
So you see her she has street smarts. Later, we find out in the movie why she wanted to die and why she wanted to kill him. So and she's always hanging out with him. So you see that relationship in the movie. You see that the personal lives of the other two assassins, which is the Bao Bao, Miss Feng, who sings in the cabaret that she owns, and her relationship with her son, his wife, and they have a child, who are constantly, her son's wife is constantly upset with her because doesn't like where they live, and they're constantly telling her, no, you have to, we need to live in a better place for your grandson, and your grandson is. And I thought it was funny because he goes, so your grandson is moving up in the world. You go, that kid's like 4 years old. What are you talking about? But I go, must be a culture that you can move up in the status. So we need to live in a better neighborhood. And then we get the son to go, Grandma, don't you want me to be successful in life? He's like, what do you mean? I'll be dead by the time you're in high school. So, and then it's very sad kind of the story because they're really the argument what they have with her. The driver, the other assassin, which is Lam Suet, who plays Chung, his story is that he's in love with this prostitute that he frequents, and she's and he always frequents her, and they always talking about he basically wants her to quit her job and marry him, and so we follow that story as well. And it's really funny because there's a couple of scenes in the movie like when he has heart problems, and so he's always, when she's always, they have sex, and she's like, oh, you managed to do 2 minutes, great. And so he ends up he's always buying this medicine to make him last longer and be stronger. And he goes, how much did I do today? 2 minutes, the same. He's like, damn it. So, and at one time he is actually, having a problem that he goes to the hospital, and then the main assassin shows up with the young girl is like, "Oh, you have a new wife now?" And she's like, it's just really funny. So he has those moments. The movie has a lot of funny moments. It has but really sad moments too. And when I go, wow, this movie makes you laugh and cry too. It's like, am I watching a Bollywood movie here? It's really, I really enjoyed it. I thought they made a great point about the situation with the elderly.
Yes,
and
I agree.
And also what happens to people when they get older. And because they have situations where people want to commit suicide, want to be killed, and they're extremely successful. Where you go, what problem do you have? You're super rich to really poor that cannot afford anything. So you see it kind of shows you that all those different perspectives. And then and the movie starts one way, it takes another turn. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie actually.
Bob?
Well, when I saw the picture of Patrick Say, who plays the main character, I said, "Oh, I know this guy. I've seen this guy and stuff." But I picture his face connected with evil. I said, I've seen him play evil characters, and so I looked him up. And there was only one movie that I had ever seen him in, and that was one of the greatest movies ever made, Shaolin Soccer, where he played the coach of Team Evil. And he's like so vicious in that, even though it's a small part. And I said, "Oh, it'd be interesting to see him play this part." And it was, I think that Lem Suet, the
driver
guy. I think he also was like a star earlier.
Yes,
on
he
in
was
his
also.
career.
I think it might.
They all were.
Yeah, all three of those people
Yes.
were. Yeah, and it was interesting because and she's. I think it's Bobo, not Bao Bao, because it's Bobo. It's Feng Bobo is who she is.
Yeah, because that's one thing.
No,
Society
Bao
spelled Bo.
BAO.
In some,
Everything I looked up, she just had
Yeah,
Bobo.
in some of them- in
And
some of them
in
some-
IMDb, she's Bobo.
BAO.
Well,
That sounds like
that's not what it said in the thing.
That's
that I looked up.
IMDb.
Well, I saw in IMDb. I saw her as Bobo.
I saw
This is
both.
really
I saw
weird.
both. I saw
Bao Bao.
Bao.
Don't
and I
feel
saw-
bad,
I know
Bob.
this is Bao Bao.
I swear to God, I saw it the same way.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, they were the actors were all wonderful in it. The story is so bizarre and it's so weird that I said, like with Patrick Say, I said, "Oh, okay, he was really good in a small part as an evil guy." I don't know that he's that great in this, but his face is like he's got that great actor's face,
Great character
it
face.
just expresses
Yeah.
so much. But I kept expecting more from him. But together the parts were, the whole was greater than the parts, I'll say, in terms of the actors, because they really worked well together. I couldn't follow a lot of the history that you'd have going to see these actors in a movie, being familiar with them, because I wasn't familiar with them. But every one of them was great in this, and the woman with the debatable name was especially good. And because when she gets up and sings in the beginning, you can say, "Oh, this is somebody who can't sing anymore." And so there was like really like it was a courage to that, the way she did it and committed herself to it and carried through with that. So it was the girl's like the young girl's supposed to be annoying, but she was like to me, not so much like, "Oh, she's so annoying, I don't even want to watch her." She was like a typical 16-year-old kid.
She was 16.
And her heart was in the right place. And I loved all the characters.
Yeah, me too.
What's this? The driver dies about 5 or 6 times in this movie. You can think, well, that's it. That's too bad. That's for him. No, he's still around. And it was just like the humor in it is like, I guess it's not a Caucasian humor or something like that, because
Oh no,
reality
very Asian,
slash
humor.
especially
So
when it comes down to elderly and family.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was like I said, geez, some of this stuff is like really shocking that they're doing here, but I'm with it all the way, and I was.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this movie.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really different. Well, I'm here right in my glasses. It was really different. Interesting premise: 3 aging assassins trying to adapt to their new condition.
Right.
Yeah. Patrick C. Now, actually, he was considered like a handsome actor. He was played
in
lead,
his youth. Yes, exactly.
Yes, lead handsome guy roles.
Great cheekbones.
His character's named Chow. And of course, like as you said, he does the by hand chopped noodle. And the people in the restaurant are like, so they actually replace him with an AI robot, which I thought was very funny. Like there's lots of funny things like that, but it kind of sad and funny at the same time.
But so true, in my opinion, how technology and
absolutely.
stuff.
Yes. So they find a way to make a living by doing this. I don't angels of helping old people. That the people hire them to come and do this, and
he's quick. Even he's quick with it. He comes over.
Yeah, it's a quick, fast
And that's
death.
a nasty looking little weapon,
like
too.
I say, there are things that are worse than death.
Looks like a velociraptor.
Exactly, that curved knife.
And this goes out well until he runs into this 16-year-old girl client, and he's like, I can't do this. Well, she's like a puppy. She ends up like following him everywhere. It's like, just basically go away. He's not really a family guy anyways. You know what I mean? He's kind of, one thing that both me and Patty were noticing is how that guy could have been, it shows you the Native American, how the connection with the Asian world, because that guy could have been Native American. I mean, that I could have been watching a movie about
Indians, right?
About Native Americans or First Nation people. It was like, wow, what an interesting face this guy. He's 84 years old.
Is he really?
Yeah. Wow. That actor is 84 years old. When he did this movie, he's 85 years old. 84 years old. It really, I like it because it's basically in three parts. There's the past. There's the present, where the AI noodle is taking the place, and they get into this new business. And also the woman, her son is like, could somebody kill that kid? It's like,
Didn't you find you wanted all the children to be
they
killed?
are so spoiled. Oh
Yeah.
my God, yes. And this is really, it's the children from an elderly point of view. These children are so obnoxious, including the girl he was supposed to kill, but he couldn't kill.
But you know what? But so real, even and it goes beyond.
Oh my God!
Any culture.
Yeah, but that the son
Asshole kids.
and the daughter-in-law. Meanwhile, she's supporting them all.
Yeah.
She's the one who's supporting them, and they're like, "No, we want you to sell the business." And she ends up being in a
Senior
old
home.
Yeah, in an old age home. And so that's the second part. The third part is the resolution. So it's kind of like a three-part thing. And I really liked the ending. I thought the ending was really satisfying to me. It was, it was, I liked it a lot. So yeah, I really liked this movie. I didn't think I didn't see it. It was kind of like, this could be a coming of age movie, but to old people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm calling up a guy to kill me tomorrow.
If you pass 50,
But I
this
like
is
how,
what could happen.
remember, she always has a message before she sings, and the message was funny about dying. Remember, you're gonna die soon, so chop chop, give you some tips or whatever.
Yeah, but
yeah.
then she does when the new situation comes, it's a different song.
Yeah.
Right? And she's going to leave the retirement home because they have decided they've done something else. And I actually liked all that. I liked it because it was a 3 parts. This is a roadmap for old people. This was a roadmap for old people.
Yeah.
You can
Find
do
your
this.
assassins, people. Find your people.
No, they couldn't do that because, they couldn't. But although they were assassins, so they could do that, right? But like the girl threw the wrench in the works there. So yeah, I really like this movie. It was really different. And that's it. Patty.
I love this movie the best of all 5.
Wow.
Because it has the 2 or 3 main ingredients I love. I got totally attached to the people. I worried about the people, especially because they were elder or they'd been really young or really old. And because I'm approaching that age group, so I could really identify with these people. But I hated the kids in this movie. They should all be shot. But they're not like different from any kid, of parents, because they always want to do what's best for them and bring it on to the parents. You get really emotionally involved because you really care what happens to, especially the three adults. And the little girl, she really kind of pissed me off, but I kept going. She's 16. But she would give in every so often to being a sweetheart, and then she'd go back to being 16.
Which is like 16.
Yeah, that's not
Absolutely.
going back to being 16. That's continuing being 16.
And what I loved about it is the saddest parts they made fun of, even though the saddest part of the truth of it
Yeah.
is true. It's like you got to find your tribe and hang on to them till you all drop dead.
Very much so. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I got out too.
How about you?
No, that's what I was going to say, because I was not crazy about this movie, but what I did look at the movie is when it comes down to aging and
God.
family, because that was one thing. Because what when you see them young, because don't forget, they're basically gangsters.
Yes.
So the
But
three
they
of
could
them
be
are
anybody.
but the thing of them, they're in a gang. They're doing illegal, in my opinion, sort of illegal activity. So he's like, oh, that's how they started this and that. Now they're aged. But the thing was when it came down to family, right? Because I'm assuming, like you said, that Patrick Swayze's character Chow has no family. Even they call you uncle. That's sort of in Asia.
Yeah.
Everyone just calls you uncle, auntie,
Yeah.
whatever.
And mother
right?
and
Exactly.
auntie,
Right.
yeah.
Like we talked about the Indian films.
Right.
Like I kept thinking, oh, that's his sister. It's like, no, they
Right.
said that's not his sister. You just do that in
Yeah.
the culture. That's how I saw
Which is
this.
sweet.
That he's older. He can't hold on a job. Same thing with the Chung character, Lam Suet. Because one thing I will give it, all three of the main characters, I think, are excellent in the roles.
Yeah.
You know,
They were great.
my problem I had is like I can't really identify them because, first of all, they're criminals, right? And then
Really?
what I love is that the fact that they have to result or go back to being criminals again, but yet doing something I think is very important in society, which is basically euthanasia, right? Because I do believe in euthanasia, and that's why Patrick Swayze's reaction to that first character was sort of amazing to me, right? The fact that he said ethically he could not do that. Because no, you kill people because they're doing something wrong. These people didn't do anything wrong.
But it
right?
makes a difference. It makes a difference.
Very
The
much a
logic
difference.
isn't-
No, because we see that in the movie. The fact that he's supposed to kill this woman, he can't. He literally can't because it's like, no, it's not like vengeance or this.
Code of honor.
Right. And yet then, like you said, later on, the husband has to kill the woman and then he has to go to jail, and because literally they cannot afford the medicine or afford
Yeah.
to have her live.
And he even
And-
says when they're putting him in the wagon, saying, she's better, everything's better this
Right.
way.
No.
Yeah.
In fact, it's
And
like,
he's
okay.
right.
And he is right because now, I don't even have to pay for anything because I'm going to be in jail. I'll have a
Right.
home and have somebody feeding me, right? So you
So
realize
sad.
there is something really strange, right, with this thing. So he figures out, which I agree with him, yes, let's help people do this. To me, it was the, like you said, the, what was her name? Mrs. Fung, the Fung character,
Yes.
right? The fact that she does have a son who is married and has a child. She's literally paying for
I
everything.
know. I couldn't
right?
get that.
And yet they're unhappy because they want him to have a better life. But one of these
It's
lives
them
where it's
that want a better life.
Well, it's the wife.
A better neighborhood.
The wife.
Yeah.
No, the better neighborhood, the better school,
Yes.
and
Yes.
everything. And I understand that too. That's like a goal even in America.
Yeah, but that's
you
her
wanna go-
money.
you want to go on, but do it on your own. But you're complaining to her. Why don't you
I
pay
hated
for
that part.
everything,
I
right?
hated that part.
Again, that's very Asian though, in the
Is it?
aspect that, of course, because it all comes in the
Oh, the
family.
children.
I thought they were supposed to take care of her.
Well, that's the thing. Your grandchild's supposed to take care of you, you figure at one point, right? Or the children are. But the fact that her son, for example, worked for her, that's the worst part. Because it's like, oh my God, she's hired him. He's done nothing. And the wife is complaining to her about her son.
I'd have
right?
slapped the shit out of her. I would have.
So this is like the fun part for me is like watching that. But to me, ultimately, it's like, I just really found this sort of annoying. I really did. It's like, I understand the situation. I get that. These are not the most respectable people.
No.
But it literally is that Suet-Ying, the young girl, who changes everything. She literally is the catalyst that changes him.
Yeah.
Because at one point, what I love is like, she does this thing. I don't know if she's constantly on TikTok or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
she's
like
always,
that.
Right?
Yeah,
Which
social
I have
media.
become addicted to. Yes.
Okay. But I love there's a scene at one point that he decides, okay, I'll take you in, I'll take care of you, blah, 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 this and that.
Yeah.
And then he starts doing the same thing too. They're both like sitting in a chair with that thing, right? That thing that holds their phone and they can watch
Yeah.
the same thing. And they're right.
Eating
So,
chips.
that's getting him re-engaged in life, right?
Right.
And that's what I love to see in general, right? Older people getting re-engaged in life because at one point it's like that woman. I was like, why don't you just shoot yourself? What's the point? Your grandson is manipulating you to help them based on what the parents want.
Right.
You know, your son doesn't really even love you, you know,
is
in a
shocking.
way at one point. So it's like, oh, this is sort of weird. But I have to admit, it's like I didn't think the whole movie was great, but you're right. The resolution is what I love because the thing is
So
like,
good.
okay, you have this family as a young person, you know, and again, Asia, right? You start these young bonds. Okay, then you start going out to real life. Then at the end of your life, okay, what has it led to? Well, two of them, the two guys don't have families, right? The Chow character, like you said, he's just a driver who's this.
But they become a family.
But that was the whole thing with the young girl. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
she is literally catalyst. It's like, you know what? We do have something to live for. We'll live for this kind of thing. And starts a new family.
Yeah.
It's like they were
that was
just
so
like,
sweet.
that's the whole thing. Let's like erase everything else. This is our future now. And that's the thing, that there's hope in their future now.
Yeah.
Because there doesn't seem to be hope in their future at that present time we're watching them where they're bathing. But I really loved, I hate to say this, I really loved their point at the fact that they were actually taking care of or killing older people because of their situation.
They were being hired by them
Right.
to do
No,
so.
So
exactly.
sad. That was
And
so
I like
sad.
That, but I like
And-
that you see that, like when there's a scene where there's the young guys who have been sent to take
Right,
care of him,
right,
and
yeah.
he beats the crap out of them.
Yeah,
This guy, and so
exactly, yeah.
he's an assassin. You know, he's gonna
Right.
Yes.
shooting against the thing. So there's
Well,
a couple of fun scenes like that.
See, it's that. But to me, it was literally when their one big case was the rich man.
Yes.
And I thought, see, he just says it.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that at one point, even this, you know, the Patrick Swayze character is like, why are you so chatty? It's like, because I haven't talked to anyone in so long since my wife died, right? And it's like,
That was so sad.
and the fact that he still has family, and yet he's not connected to them anyway. It's like, you
Well,
know
it
what?
says they can.
That's what I said. That has to do with the family that you have. If you're not relating to them,
You're gone.
they're not
They're
family.
gone.
So
Yeah.
then you create your own family, which to me,
Yes.
I know that living in LA is literally just my friends that I have. You know,
Yeah.
like all here, us. You know, the fact that we gather all this, like you're sort of my family now. You're my substitute family here,
You're-
as I'm in LA.
I'd
right?
cheers.
rather lawn.
We're cheers.
Exactly.
We're cheers.
So
Okay.
that's the one thing I appreciated. But like I said, I didn't think it was a great movie, but I thought at least it had an important message to
Yeah,
say.
it did.
Yes.
It literally did, especially about aging, which is why the title Time is so important.
Yeah.
Well, actually, what's the character? The big character, the driver.
Chow.
Oh, ciao.
Chow.
Yeah.
He was actually very comedic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He had
so.
a lot of comedy lines.
He was a security
right?
and he's always sleeping.
You're sleeping,
Oh,
yeah.
First he said, I have blood pressure. Oh, no, I have low blood pressure.
My blood sugar.
Also, when he
You wrote down the full name of the movie.
Oh, yeah. It was Sha Chu Ge Huang Gung.
Yeah, because I decided, well, and the movie's called Time.
Yeah.
I want to find out what this translates.
Translate
So I put it in. That's
It
the
sucks
English
growing
translation.
old.
That's
It
the English
sucks
translation of
growing
it
old.
itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it time soon?
Oh.
No, not time. It's the Chinese phrase. It's just when you put it in, it says in English it's cha chu cha whatever it is.
Which is why
It sucks being
Which is
old.
why I think it had to do with
It
her,
sucks being
her
old.
philosophies about like, you know, that
Okay.
how time is this and it's fleeting.
Yeah.
Because I think you're right. Because even as much as her character, I felt I was identified more with her character. The fact that, like I said, ungrateful family in a certain way.
Yeah.
She's working sort of hard.
She is.
And she had this sort of glory. You see at the beginning how attractive she was. She could fight. She was
Beautiful
tough
woman. Yeah.
and everything. And yet now she's sort of berated when she sings and everything. I thought,
Sucks
it's really-
getting old. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Okay.
Sue?
Okay,
On the
we're-
next episode, if we give away the ending of every movie ever made,
Doesn't
we'll be doing the
matter.
Alfred Hitchcock classic, The Boy Who Thought He Was His Mother.
What is that? Okay, so I guess this would be you, George.
No, Bob.
No.
It's George's movie.
Oh, it's George's
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
I'm so sorry. Bob.
Well, I can't keep track of what the logic is in all of it. So it's, okay, 7.
7. I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8.
I give it a 9. I thought it was a great movie.
I give it a 5.
Of
Yeah.
course you do.
I give it a 9. I really enjoyed it.
It's almost like I don't know what to think about that movie.
It's a
I
great movie.
enjoyed it, but it's not like I saw anything else
depressing.
And
ever
my next
like
movie is
it.
going to be the Japanese classic Departures.
Oh, don't even do that.
Okay, so are we going to go back?
Yep.
Where are we going?
We'll be back.
We'll be back.